Yes, another beautiful Saturday morning. Broken with the Vibemaster JD from Boston. It's 7.7 FM, where I bring African culture, African vibes, African lifestyle through the sound of music to you every Saturday. Today, I have my West African brothers with me. They're actually twin brothers, Dope Nation, all the way from Ghana. What's good, Dope Nation? How you doing today, man?
Yo, what's up, baby? How you doing, bro?
I'm chill, man. It's good to have you guys on the show with me today. I was
Yes,
just
sir.
thinking, like, you guys have been here for a while, and I probably have heard your music and all that, like your production, your works, but did not know it was Dope Nation. Or maybe because I'm not Ghanaian, it could be one of the two. Maybe because I'm not Ghanaian, I'm still learning. So I mean, it's good to have you guys on the show this morning, man. As it on your end, and congratulations on your project that you just dropped as well. Seeing you guys being on radio across Ghana, doing interviews as well, promoting the music. Talk to
Yeah.
me about this project that you just dropped.
Thanks, bro. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us on your platform. So this project we dropped today. The title is Ghana Piano, and it has caused lots of speculation around the name itself before we dropped the project. You know, people were so much involved with why we named it Ghana Piano, and after listening to it today, now they're going back to the conversation of, okay, so this is the reason why they named it Ghana Piano, and it's because
Right.
of the whole trajectory we have for the project, the light that we came from, looking at it from the sound point of view as producers, and the reason why we named it Ghana Piano. You get it?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because you guys are actually, you have the right to be able to do that because you guys are the ones making the beats.
The
So
sound. Yeah, exactly.
it's pretty much up to you to decide what you want to call it, which is actually good because right now that sound is what the whole of Africa is actually responding to. And I know the strange,
Yes.
not the strange part, the coincidence there is that the world moves to similar, people respond to stuff that they are familiar with, very
Yes.
familiar
Yes.
with. It's like anywhere in
Yes.
the world, once you hear something that you're familiar, you'll be able to move your body to it. So Amapiano is now that sound that the world, every race is able to relate with from our music. So everyone is using their sound, which is very, very. I have to commend you guys for even doing this because I've heard some people say recently that what is going to bring Ghana to make people know that Ghanaians are actually doing this thing for real too, and they're good at what
Yeah.
they do. Like it's not say we
Yeah.
that we are there, we know them. Like, bro, what's going on this end? Why? Yeah. So
I feel you.
I gotta commend you guys on that, man. The early life of Dope Nation, Twin Brothers. I'd like to know about that, man, and of course the people would like to know about that as well. Because now you guys are more in the face of the people, more in the spotlights rather than when you used to be, behind the scene and producers. Talk to me about the early stages, what got Dope Nation to where they are today, Dope Nation's inspiration as the creatives, you know, the background of your music and your personality and where you are today.
We started first childhood, like basically like every artist story, places we grew up and places we've been to whilst we were growing up, we took a
Right.
lot of inspiration those places, But we never had any intentions as we were little. We never had any intentions to do African music. We were only developing our skill on the Western music, the Western sound.
Right.
So it got to the point where we also decided, yo, let's try and also make our own music. So as kids who were not given the opportunity to record, because our dad is he used to be a headmaster in a school,
Right.
and the
I can
music
imagine
thing,
already.
he didn't allow the music thing to head in his house at all. So we used to leave the house and walk miles to a studio in the western part of Ghana. We used to walk miles and then go to a studio. But then it got to a point where we felt like in that studio they had a lot of artists there, so they were not giving us that attention. And also because of our background of music, because it was too western, as compared to what was happening in part of Ghana. And at that side of Ghana, they only do more of high life, like high life.
Yeah.
So it was more like a setback for us. So we decided to go back home, get our laptops and then download the softwares for recording, making beats, PDFs, go on YouTube, learn how to make beats from scratch. And yeah, we spent more of our time, instead of playing football outside, we spent more of our time studying all of that from that time. And even up till now, we are still studying, you see. Yeah, because music is evolving. So that's
evolving.
Yeah. So fast forward, my dad saw us to be diabolical, so he split us into different schools when we go to high school. He made my brother go to a boys' school, and I went to a mixed school, in high school. Yeah, and we hadn't seen ourselves for like a year. So we have this inter-schools sporting competition they have like annually in schools.
Right.
And that's where we met. When the sports guys are doing their thing at the stadium, then we will be outside the stadium, having rap battles and dance battles.
Right.
So yeah, we were battling and we used to battle a lot of schools, like myself and my friends in my school. We used to battle a lot of schools, and I heard that there's this guy called B2. That's my brother. There's this guy called yes, who knows how to rap and what. So we searched for B2, and when I saw B2 and his gang, it was my brother, and we had to battle. So we put we went back and forth, and there's something we've done already. We've been battling,
right, from home.
From home, we just put on the radio and some FM stations. They leave beats to be playing on and they will be rapping, at the background. So it's something we used to do. So when we met them, I met my brother, we started battling, and we went on and on and on. And the guys were like, "Yo, you guys are dope," and the whole movement, I had friends who were backing me, those boys who, when you haven't even started rapping, they're like, "Yo, you don't know our guy, yo, Charlie, this guy, where you get," and they've grown with us to now. They've grown with us to now, and they are also very instrumental when it comes to our music. Yeah, so that is the nation. And since they said we are dope, we just decided to call ourselves
Dope Nation. Wow, that actually makes a lot of sense. That you guys are actually so that's how funny it is for most creatives, right? It's always someone that always ends up naming you based off of what because they can see from the angle you don't see yourself. They're like, "Bro, you guys are dope, so Dope Nation." But the fact that this is funny how life is, right? Because most of the time, what you always end up doing, right, are always things that parents always discourage you from doing. So I think parents are always like the first point of, is this what you love to do? Or you're just joking about it, or encourage you. If you are passionate about it, be like, I'm still going. It even give you more passion towards that. I'm going there. So how come both of you were caught up in this? Was it that because you guys were always together? Because the lifestyle was majorly, from what I see, right? Is majorly like prim and proper. You have to out this way. Yeah, your dad is like, so you got to always act a certain. But you guys was boring, so you guys like, nah, what do we know how to do aside this norm? And let's came up with it. So talk to me, like, where at what point did all this now become like, bro, this is what we are doing. This is us as much as our parents are strict, but this is who we are.
Well, I'll take it from this angle. You see, from our parents' side, and then most of those who knew us as Michael and Tony, like from children of our parents, they knew us to be these kind of disciplined kids, and straightforward, neat, well-spoken of, like well-mannered children. You get it? And in the world of creatives and people who are like musically inclined and they know how to write music and all that kind of stuff, we're also more like that badass elite class of producers, artists that could write songs and all that, and it kept us in that space of trying to appeal to both parties at a time. So you could be in the house and then you're all respectable, and then as soon as you move out of the house, then you're badass, you're rapping. It from that angle, and we decided to leave the West because the music we were doing, we felt was not sitting well with those there because of the high life background. So we decided to move into the capital where we'll meet people who are inclined with that kind of
sound
music. Exactly. So we came into Accra. That's when we met EL, you know.
yeah, legendary.
Yes, exactly. So we met EL, and the story just took off from that angle because we went to the studio and we had 10 beats. I think as at the time he was nominated for Artist of the Year or so. So it was like he was all over the place, you know. It's like this big artist and two boys, twin boys just coming to your studio, and they're like, you know, and you can't just meet someone like him at the time. So they were like, he wasn't around, and we're like, yo, we have 10 free beats for him. Just give him the pen drive, okay? And we were leaving, you know. So we're going to take local buses in Ghana are called trotro. So we're going to take a trotro, and all of a sudden one guy comes downstairs and is like, yo, you guys, EL is checking out your beats. He's like, you should come upstairs. And we're like, isn't this guy that said EL is not around? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So we went upstairs, and then now, you know, it's like we've been doing this back and forth, as in since we gained interest for music, like for 8 years, you know, trying to learn and all that. So we actually didn't compare our music to the sound that was commercialized on air.
Yeah,
we were only listening to ourselves. I give him my songs, he listens to it, he gives me his songs, I listen to it, we correct ourselves. So we kept doing that for 8 years. That back and forth actually made our sound grow very strong. So while we were listening to our sound, you know, the only time we got to hear our sound was not through like loud monitors, bigger speakers. It was only through small headphones, earpieces, and you know, all those things. So now you're hearing it, and then they are comparing it to the sound that is already commercialized on airwaves. It's like, you guys are already doing what is happening. But
you guys inbuilt.
Exactly, you know. So we even forgot to take a picture that day because it was new to us. You know, we were not in for the glamour, you know, the showbiz, you know. It was just, we want to learn about sound, you know. So we went back to school. The next day he had other artists do songs, and these artists, with the likes of Shatawale, Ebony, Mr. Easy, you know, lots of artists that were doing well from that time to this time. You know, all songs we did with them, just like as soon as they just take a Dope Nation song and it's boom, it's everywhere. You know, boom, it's everywhere. Just the first songs, boom, it's everywhere. So it sort of gave us, it started morphing that dope status. Yes, that quality of we being dope. It started morphing it out. And I think it was after like a couple songs, 20 to like 30 songs, hit songs were all over the place. And we have this signature in our music where if you are to listen to other songs we have produced, you hear Agbene beat. It's this catchy phrase.
Yeah, I know. Yep, I know that sound. See what I'm saying now? That's why I said I know that sound. I've heard that Agbede beat. I've heard it plenty. EL uses I've heard it a lot in EL's work as well. I've heard it on Shatawale's work as well. So I know you guys, but I'm knowing you guys by the name now and facially.
Yeah, so you know, we funny enough, we've been enjoying this sort of buzz low key, you know, as producers while this signature was going on, because they didn't really know that it was us.
Yeah,
and the fact that it was a lot of tunes, they thought maybe we were like some 40-year-old
guys,
you know, that kind of thing. And we were just in school, you know, So we kept producing, you know, not showing up for these award shows and all those kind of stuff because we were in school. You know, we were just doing our thing until my brother was like, yo, Charlie, the thing be like, say, we for do for one ourselves. So what we go do now? And we were like, okay, cool. Let's bring out the first song, test the waters and see how it goes. So we had this song, See the Girl in Back Age. If I get time for my yard age. Hey, Charlie, they do not too big. You the watch very close, she did jail and that. So we did that song. And I think as at that time, Instagram was like up and coming. It was that app that was everybody was going on. So any girl that uses that song, you see the girl in back, she normally turns her back and she's showing her body and all that kind of stuff. So it got to be a trend. And then it just took off from there, because then now the soundtrack was just getting into universities. You know, at that time we had completed university fresh, so it was getting out there, and you know, we started playing shows one after the other. Then it started changing, you know, from we being just producers to now our artistry side showing more. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope to hear. I mean, your story is very inspiring to a lot of people, because the way you guys came up was like, you know, this is just you guys doing your thing, and then you at every stage you decided to take the next step in your career as creative, which is actually good. The project that you just dropped today, Ghana Piano. Talk to me about Ghana Piano. Tracks on Ghana Piano, the features on Ghana Piano. He has Medical, he has Sarkodie, he has DJ Faculty as well. 7 tracks project. Talk to me about the songs, selection of features, and then those songs particularly, like what went into the songs? Was it like what's the creative process of those songs? Was it spur of the moment kind of writing or songs, or it was you're telling a story? Because everybody has different styles on which they write songs.
Yeah. So we actually reached a stage where we felt our sound needed some sort of change, some rapid development, and it's not to I want to find a very good way to say this. I want to find a very good way to say this. It's not to trash our music in Ghana, but then we wanted our music to sound a little bit more Western, because our people are used to the sounds in Ghana.
Yeah, the native.
Yeah, the native sounds in Ghana. But we also wanted to give it that feel of the Western market. And we are people who are very experimental. We like to travel where the music takes us.
Right.
You know, where the business takes us, that's where we like to go. And we not like to just go to a place and run at a loss. You know, so Amapiano started, and you know, we also hopped in on Amapiano, but we didn't just hop in by taking loops and playing the beats. We wanted to actually play from scratch, because that's what we do. We don't take samples. So we had an opportunity to meet.
I think we have to give the disclaimer. This is not to undermine any producer who uses loops.
Loops and
you guys are
you know, there's this quality of producers who go like, "Oh, loops is the newest thing," you know.
Right. Whichever way you can do it to get it done, right?
So the software is such that you can have, even with phones, with your iPhone, there's a different approach you can use. Someone also has a different approach. So so we had the opportunity to meet Costa and his producer and DJ Shampuru Makenzo.
Yeah,
they came to Ghana, and we sat down with them. And when we meet artists, we look forward to having deep conversations about the music, the sound. You know, having deep conversations about how the development of their sound and how far it's taking them, and you know how ours too is going, and how theirs is, you know, comparing it to ours and all of that. Yeah, we went into a very in-depth conversation, and they opened up to us. You know, they told us more about how their music is in South Africa, their lifestyle and everything. And they even said we should come to South Africa with them. You know, so we had that bond, and they opened their softwares for us to see how the Amapiano beat is being played and everything. And we had an idea to also make our Amapiano. But that's the beauty of Amapiano. You see, it's the piano, right? But then you can find your way around it. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily if it's Amapiano and it is fast tempo, an upbeat song, and you are not someone who is good with upbeat and beats, you have to jump on it. You can just find the piano and put your own genre into it, and then name it. Yeah, so it's broad like that. So they even made us know that this sound you guys are. Then they even said they named it. They gave it a certain name, like something. They wanted to give our beats a name with the piano. You get, but that was when we hadn't even started making the beats yet. So traveling, we went from there. From there, we went to Uganda.
Yeah, we met them in
Yeah,
Uganda.
we met them in Uganda again.
Yeah.
And along the line, we're making the beats, making songs from there, and it's morphed our beats into what we have now as Ghana Piano. So we decided to test the water since we've been producing from time. And basically, our speakers are the airwaves, like the radio airwaves in Ghana and some parts of Africa. And that's what we use to test the water. So we released Goza as our first project.
Yeah. On Ghana Piano.
On Ghana Piano. And we released the first one, and it was a massive hit. It's still even a massive hit as we speak. Like in Ghana, you come to Ghana and play Goza, it's crazy. We went to Nigeria too, we performed Goza, and we saw people dancing, and we're like, okay, so this is how it works, So yeah, and with Goza, we took sounds that will remind Ghanaians of the old sounds they have, and we merged it with the new ones. So we sort of took bits from Hammer. We have a legendary producer in Ghana called Hammer. He produced Obrafo back in the day.
Yeah,
we took some sounds from and we put those elements in. Like you said, some of these sounds are familiar, and people are used to things that are familiar when they hear them, and that's when they can
relate. Yes, exactly.
So we did that with Goza, and then we clap in Ghana. When you come to Ghana and see, I don't know if you know this by now, but if you have a group of people, like a lot of people, and you want to get their attention, and you're like, Achade, they all clap like that. Achade. They'll go like that.
Ghanaian thing. Okay, all right. I've learned something today.
So we decided to put that in a song. And clap, I always say this, there's no hit like clap. Because clap, when you listen to clap, the beat actually has Achade. And it's throughout the song.
Yeah. The beat actually instructs you
to clap.
So what we do from scratch is we make that deliberate effort to make you dance.
Yeah.
Even before you hear the lyrics to the song. So
already bouncing.
Exactly. You already start bouncing. And in clap, you hear claps that actually go like how my brother said, the Achade.
Yeah, so you respond to it because it's a long.
Exactly. And in Goza, if you listen to Goza very well, as soon as the song starts, the first verse goes like to the left and to the right.
Yeah,
then you lean back. Right. So you listening to the song exactly already tells you to move to the left, to the right, then you lean back, So the songs already have this definition for dance music. It illustrates dance music, and that is the angle we are coming from, for Ghana Piano, because Africans, we like to dance. Our culture is dance music. Yes, filled with dance.
So when you come to Ghana, I would say we are actually responsible for the dance songs here, because we own the airwaves when it comes to dance songs in Ghana. So we just felt that is the best way to go about it.
Yeah, about this project.
Name it Ghana Piano. Like it's basically as
easy as that. It's self-explanatory. It's Ghana because the sounds are sampled from Ghanaian old and new.
Right.
Yes,
right.
and it's piano because this is what the world is listening to from Africa.
Right. You have a track with Sarkodie on the album, Check My Zingo, like that. As in, it sticks when you play it. So you remember Check My Zingo when check my Zingo. Yeah. So how did you? Did you guys send in the beats, or you guys went in the studio together and then the magic happened?
When we started the interview, we told you about back then when we used to go to studios and At that time, we recorded Check My Zingo. So Check My Zingo is like
the song is like 12 years, 10 years.
We wanted to give it the Ghana sound. So we did that, and then after we posted the snippet of the raw song on Instagram, and Sarkodie saw it, and he also posted it on his story. Fast forward, in 2 days, he hit us up on Instagram, and he was like, "Yo, guys, send me the beats. He wants to drop 16 bars." So we're like, "Oh, 16 bars, let's go." We also said, it didn't even take 30 minutes. He sent back his vocals, and it was the hottest 16 we've ever heard this year. Like hot, very hot,
Yeah, and we mixed it, and yeah, that's how come we had Sarkodie on Check My Zingo for Ghana.
Wow. You guys recorded the song like about 12 years ago, but then just you just had the song like, yo, bro, this beat is in my head.
Yeah, you know that thing. Yeah, it's crazy. It's interesting because this kind of fusion is rare. You know, I mean, from Ghana, most people know Dub Nation to be like artists for making fusions based on the fact that it's musical, and it's not because of that political ideology, you know, which is okay. But we feel like
the sound should just make sense.
Yes, the sound should make
when you listen
sense.
to the fusion, you'll be like,
exactly, it should have that click. The fusion should happen. So lots of people actually were wild about the fact that Sarkodie wanted to be on our track, and the fact that we were also willing to make sure that he was going to be on the track. So there was no time for even making noise or exhaling and saying, yo, Charlie Sarkodie is on. You know that thing. It was all
right. It was quick, was chop. Apple quick.
Yeah.
You get the song out. Yo, bro, when did you guys do this? Oh, we just did it yesterday.
Yeah, you know, And the funny thing about this whole part is the way he took the promotion and PR for the song. You know, he made sure he did the song, everything was in check, and then goes on Twitter and goes like, I have to catch this Dope Nation song. You get how the mindset of the person and where he's coming from, it's sort of different, just to create an environment for you to step in and do your thing. You know, that's what he did, and it's doing well for the song. You know, it's really doing well for the song.
Right. I want to congratulate you guys once more again for Ghana Piano, for thinking out of the box and trying to be different. I wish you guys awesome luck with your music and putting out more music as well, especially with this one out now. As artists from Ghana, we talked about, before going on the interview, we were talking at the background about, you know, Ghanaian music having, like, even Africa as a whole having so much good music, but the attention is towards the particular end of Africa, right? What do you think as Ghanaians is one thing that is maybe the drive, right? Or maybe it's what do you think? Maybe it's just timing. What do you think it is exactly?
I think it's basically what you said. It's just timing, because once upon a time was only Afrobeats. You know, it was just Afrobeats, and even it was just Afrobeats when Afrobeats wasn't globally accepted. But then still, like, it was a Nigerian thing, and everyone was still also hopping on it. You know, but then it got to a point in time where the South Africans also had an identity. And that is one thing that's very important, you know. And I think it's also timing. Even if we are doing Ghana Piano today, and Ghana Piano even is a sub-genre from Amapiano, at least it gives us an identity.
Right.
You know, maybe I get to a point in time we can evolve from that into something else, and who knows what it might be. You know, music, you cannot tell what's going to happen tomorrow, even with the project you're having today. Yeah, that's wow factor. One thing you don't have answers. So yeah, it's just timing, and I think that time is coming. And that's one thing about music. The beauty of it all is, fine, we have people who are pioneers, right? You have D'banj, for example. You have D'banj, who is like a legend, a master at what he does. But we have a Davido now, we have a Burna Boy now, and I'm sure a Burna Boy will wish to be a D'banj, and a D'banj will also wish to be a Burna Boy now, because in the new era, you know, there are new opportunities and other things that are
right.
So whether it's going to come to us now, or it's going to come to us when we are dead and gone, and our descendants will be the ones who will reap from it. I mean, like, it's still just timing. And for the fact that it has to do with time and changes, it also has to do with the liberation of the mind. You know?
Right, liberation of the mind. I agree with you.
Exactly. Yeah, gradually from every aspect. Let's go out of the music and go to each industry in every African country. You'd get to realize that we are being woke. Yes, everybody is getting woke. Everybody's minds are developing. Everybody is finding ways, different means of developing anything they get their hands on and try to make bread out of it. And because of this mentality, it's making us get more discoveries. You know, Africa is now getting out there. Africa is just because of the way we are thinking now. And like I said, time changes. So far as there's the liberation of the mind, we are going to get there. Yeah.
And the good part is the world is not a global village. You don't need to be in America to send the message to America. People actually, and one thing I realized too, African content is what the world is feeding on right now. It's fresh. And the sad part is not a one-time trend. It is here forever kind of situation. Everybody's going to point to us too, because I know now that a lot of record labels, record companies are going to, they are signing, even some, I saw a tweet yesterday about someone saying, did they realize now that record companies are no more signing rappers like they used to? Like they are now,
signing Afrobeats artists, African artists, singers,
producers, writers, because they not reality. I said this to someone like 5 years ago. I said, as much as you can be a good producer, if you are not from that place, you cannot, call me if I'm wrong though, you cannot get the sound right. You can only try. You can give it, you can put out
that's true.
Together.
That's true. You cannot get it exactly like the way,
you won't get certain elements right. You can only use what you can use. You can use a reference to do what you want to do, right? But you cannot get certain elements because where we are from, there are times where people use bottle to make sound. There's way people clap in church that they can use it to create sound on its own. You know, we have our rhythm, the guitar rhythm, we have the flutes, we have different things that are unique to us as Africans. So, you know, they need us. You know, we are.
They do. And the thing too is we need them. You know, because funny thing, the softwares we are creating our sound from are softwares created by them.
Yeah, so we all need each other.
Exactly.
So they are just fascinated
by how we are able to crack
something they need.
Exactly.
But they didn't even have our sound in their mind.
So what Africa is supposed to be conscious about is the fact that we should be willing to allow the exploitation, but also take that advantage to learn.
Yes.
You know, because regardless, you getting into something you don't know more about would mean you would be exploited in the end. It takes see it as colonization in a way, but differently, there's something you can earn from this. You know, there's always a positive side from a negative. So what we have to do is, the more we are in a way trying to discover and then and show our talent, showcase our talent to the Western world is also learning from it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
they know the business. They are exactly. It will get to a time they will sort of find structures and systems where we would have to play by their games. So as the ones who are introducing this new discovery, we also would have to learn from their systems and how they are making the business.
So we can actually make it ours, because it's very important that we own this. Very, very important that we are the owners of what we create. Because at the end of the day, man, that's what's gonna feed all of us. That's gonna, you know, as creatives. I want to say big thank you to you guys for coming on the show. I wish we could spend more time, but let's have you guys back again when you drop a new project. But Dope Nation, it was good to have you guys. I need you guys to do a drop for me before you go.
Most definitely. What
do you want to say to the listeners right now before I let you guys go?
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's an honor to have you, JD. You know, be on your platform and then let the world know about our music. We thank you for you know, as industry, your job is to explore and then make our fans know about our sound. And you are doing a good job at it. So we want to say thank you. And also thank you to everyone listening to our music. We are bringing about new discoveries. You know, you guys should just sit in tight and then enjoy the ride.
Yes, sit in tight and enjoy the ride. Dope Nation say so. Make sure you go stream their album, follow them on socials at Dope Nation. We just dropped a new project, Ghana Piano. Even if you can't spell, you can spell piano, add Ghana to it. All set on socials as well. To my brothers in Ghana, say big up, man, big respect. Dope Nation. Repeat that. What's that signature that you guys use again? I have to learn that thing now. All right, man. Bless up, man. I'll ask Connor to reach out to you guys so that you guys can do a drop for Vibemaster, JD, Dope Nation. Please add that Agbede into it as well, man. I like that signature, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. Bless up, brothers, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.